Good morning. So in one of the previous posts you would have seen that we built this pond for the ducks, and one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to install a solar powered pump and aerator, because obviously you can see that the water is getting a bit stale. The pump is just going to be circulating the water, just kind of doing a little bit of agitation initially, and in the next couple of weeks we'll put in a filter box just to filter out all the crap at the bottom of the pond. So we'll just go inside and I'll show you what we've got. So we have one 100 watt solar panel. I do plan to have 2 or 3 of these, but initially I'm just going to try the one to see how much light and power is generated from it. That will go into a smart solar from Victron. So it's an MPPT 75 by 15 amps, and it's got the Bluetooth, so we'll be able to get some analysis on that. So PV into there, battery into a car battery, just temporary until I get a better suitable battery later on. Load going to a 500 watt inverter, which will be going to 2 timers. So the plan is, because it's running on solar, aerators and the pumps will be on, not all the way through the day, but just kind of staggered about, just to kind of save a bit of power. So got a twin outlet aerator for a pond. It's only 4.2 watts, so it's quite a small one, but again it's just to give a bit of aeration. And again, got a pond pump, which on this one, I'll just have a look, is only 16 watts. So between the 2 items, you're talking 20 watts plus whatever that takes, whatever that runs as well. So it'll be a bit of trial and error, and once this is all put together, it will be put into one of these electrical boxes, which got a gasket down there, and it'll be fully watertight. So what we'll do is we'll go and just start putting it together, see what sort of power output we can get.
So I finally decided my layout for the board. So what I'm going to have is the PV power from the solar panel coming through here. So the positive will go through here directly into the Victron unit. Negative will go through there, so only the positive will be fused, and it's a resettable fuse. The load will go into this switch, which I've reduced down to a 3 amp fuse, feed into here, and then obviously it will loop into both these timers out to the 2 items that I'm powering, which is the solar panel, the aerators, and also the pump. And this one will be the battery, so be able to isolate the battery as well, so that it'll just basically loop into here. But these will all be connected behind the board, so it'll look a lot tidier. So I'm going to put spacers in to lift this away from the back plate of that. So we'll start hooking everything up, and I'll come back. So now the majority of the stuff is kind of hooked up. I'm going to start connecting it all into the box. So I've got the filter unit here, the pump here, so we'll start putting it in the enclosure so I can get everything kind of finished. Right, so that's the install for the bench test complete. So I'm just away to literally connect the batteries. I've got this on a temporary block down here. So everything's connected, so we've got the filter, the bubbles. So we'll go and connect everything. So that's the installation complete. We're now away to do the bench test just now. So everything is connected. We've got the solar panel sitting over here. It's back on. Going into this fuse, into the controller. We've also got the battery to connect to this, through the switch to that, which obviously charges back and forth. We've got the master switch for feeding the inverter on a plug, which I've reduced all the fuses down to 3 amp. There's a separate switch there and a USB. Goes through 2 timers, which is fully adjustable, as I mentioned previous. Feed-in bubbles, and also the actual filter unit itself. So what we'll do is we'll connect the battery, get that going, turn on the switch, and we did have a light. Oh, we've got a light there. So we'll turn on the gap. So it's getting data. So it's saying that there's no voltage coming in for the solar battery, 12.3 volts, which is obviously very low. And the output you can see right there as well, so there's nothing outputting just now. So what we'll do is we'll connect the solar panel on. So we're now getting 7.12 volts. That's because, like I say, it's sitting over there. So what we'll do is we'll connect, turn on the master switch for the inverter, turn on the inverter. You just heard it beep there, saying that there's 0.6 of an amp going out. So you can see that there, and you can also see it there. So what we'll do is we'll just give this a quick test and see that it works. So we'll move the covers on these. So can't remember which is which. So something should be powering, but nothing's powering. Okay, so we'll turn that off. Turn that on. So it's the bubbles. So that's definitely working. But we've got nothing on the pump, so we'll have to come back to that one. So let me go and figure out what's wrong with that, and I'll come back to you. And I'm back. It's now 2 days later since I last filmed, and there was a fault with what I thought was the pump. However, I've got it connected with a temporary line here directly into the 230 volt plug, and it works perfectly. So looking on the net, it is because I'm using a modified sine wave inverter, which is basically this one, cheap Chinese knockoff. So I've invested in a top of the range pure sine wave inverter from Victron. So it's the same manufacturer as the controller. So supposedly this will work. I'm kind of hoping it does, because this was considerably more expensive than that one. So this was £112 I think it was, while this one was actually like £12. So what we'll do, disconnect it offline, and I'll get everything hooked up and we'll see how we got on. So when I come back, everything will be ready to go, and then we'll go back to the testing phase. It's in, it's installed. This one's quite a bit bigger, so I had to move everything along. But generally all the cables plugged in pretty much exactly the same. So this is the moment of truth. So we'll connect everything up, and hopefully on this occasion it works. So again,
got this on a temporary cable until we get outside, just for testing purposes. So turn the battery on, we've got power, then we've got the master switch for the inverter, which we've turned on. And then at the back of this inverter there's a button here, so we've got on and I think we've got eco, so we'll put it on to on just now. Oh, we don't have a light. Oh, we do. And then it said in the book to wait 10 seconds before activating it. We'll activate the solar panels as well, even though they're outside and it's pretty dark. We'll open up the Victron app so we can monitor what's going on. So we've got nothing coming in the solar panel, 2.9 volts like I said, 12 coming in, 0.4 of an amp going out, and the same pretty much on the out. So we'll test it. So this was the one that was working the last time, which was the air bubbles, which is working. You can hear it there. That's good. Come on. I'm not even getting any light here. Okay. So what's happened here? Oh, it's got an alarm. Oh. So it's working. Do they both work at once? Why was that alarm on, Phil? Have to look at that. So that's working. So everything seems to be working. Turn it off. Why did we get an error? Maybe I didn't wait long enough. So now we've got it working. Part 2 of this video will be actually doing the outside install, so we'll leave it there for just now. But just shows you buy the more expensive pure sine wave inverter instead of the cheap Chinese ones, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, bye.